And we are live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto episode 237. Today is Tuesday, August 28th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
10-ish.
Always in here.
What's going on, Tessa, Clo71, Antonio, Crypto Ty? There we go. Finally got a chance to tune in live again. Thanks for coming.
Live. It's always better live.
It is always better live. We can reflect upon your thoughts and feelings. For the free Satoshis yesterday, who won?
Oh, yeah. So for our free Satoshis winner, our winner was Achilles16. Thank you for your comment in response to our question about how will you leave your Bitcoin to your family, or how will you use it in a will, or for insurance later. It was good that he had his private keys written down and mnemonic codes written down and in a safe lockbox, because even though we talk about digital security, you also want to make sure you have physical security, either a case you keep it in, off-site, or somewhere in a storage. So good to see there. And make sure everything is written down. And he's showing his whole family how to use it, so people won't be, completely out the dark whenever they, maybe look at it and be like, oh yeah, he has Bitcoin he wanted to give to you all. And you're like, all right, so what do we do with it?
Right.
A bunch of confused people. So
that may be $100 million in Bitcoin.
That may be a whole new industry, like Bitcoin wheels, or being able to store it away. I mean, that's a whole industry.
You don't need a regular lawyer to do that. You could do it. Trust some entrusted Bitcoin experts or something with it. That would be pretty good
might
business.
Be a new division of KRBE.
Oh man, we got a new division coming. 2019.
Bitcoin Legacy. Yeah, exactly. Bitcoin Legacy Group.
Make sure. There we go. What's going on, Brian Hanley? All right. Top story today. There's a lot of good stories actually. News is kind of slow, but we found some good stories. Top one is new data from CFTC shows bearish Bitcoin futures are on the decline.
Oh yeah.
That's great news because, hey, I actually would give it to, was it the CFTC, the CEO, or not the CFTC, but the CEO of the CME. He came out, he said he was going to tame Bitcoin. We laughed at him, but hey,
yeah.
Hey, he did his thing. So for them, for this bearish position to happen, looks like bearish positions for non-commercial contracts. The Bitcoin futures are on the decline according to the latest Commitments of Traders COT report released by the U.S. Commodity Futures and Trading Commission August 24th. So that was last week. But it looked like the futures were declined by about 210 contracts. It was all the way up to, I think, about 1,926 contracts June 5th. It looks like now we're at about 1,266 contracts. So that's good news. And then on the flip side, they're saying the long contracts are, of course, increasing, or the shorts are decreasing. So it's good news when it comes to the rest of the year, because, we have been in this bear cycle for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, this news comes right on the heels of, sort of a market turnaround. And, this news.
Right. They will wait to release it 4 days later.
Like we've always said, we've been doing news long enough to see that, a lot of these news stories either follow good movement in the market, or they come right before a big move. And, we usually see insider information pumping that. But, hey, that's markets. Every market's manipulated. You just got to know how to play the game. And it is sort of funny to see CNBC quoted, like they had something to do with it. CNBC is actually, I think somebody actually did a study.
They quoted this after we did our show a week before. So all I'm saying is somebody's watching somebody. And I don't watch CNBC.
Yeah, exactly. I've never watched CNBC before, and for crypto news. But they do have a 95% hit rate for counter trades. So whenever they come out and say Bitcoin's declining, they're usually going up. If they say Bitcoin is about to boom, it's usually about to bust. So I mean, they do have a good hit rate for counter trading. They have replaced Vinny Lingham as the counter trade signal of the year. So shout out to CNBC for trying their best, but we know as a corporate group you can't do but so much.
And since you all watch CNBC, next time you have, I forgot his name, is the guy who owns, who used to work for Facebook, owns some of the Warriors. He's into crypto. I forgot his name. Very smart guy. I think he's Indian, if I believe. But next time you have him on, let him talk.
Yeah.
They cut him off every 3 seconds. I'm like, you got one of the smartest people in the world on your show, and you keep cutting off. So
they do that all the time. Every time they interview somebody who's really smart or has something really good to say, they give you a chance to talk your first 2 sentences, and after that, it's just cut off. Oh yeah, and then all right. So what do you think? And it's like, no, just let them talk.
I need Kanye up there, like, stop cutting me off.
It wouldn't be good for business if people was up there telling.
It's actually pretty funny, this quote they have. where they're telling you, Brian Kelly was telling you about the statistics from CME Exchange, which suggested that the Bitcoin futures market is overall signaling both heightened demand and greater maturity. He's quoted as saying, here CME futures open interest of large holders. As of April, you're starting to see a big increase, about an 85% growth rate. If you extrapolate that out by February 2019, you're going to have a very robust market there. No. Just for him using that word too. Come on, man. Just say you watch Gentlemen of Crypto. Yeah. They told us Q1 next year, and we're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty funny to see it, but yeah, it's good to see overall futures market maybe turning around, spot market maybe turning around with it. So we'll see.
Right. Kind of going along with the futures market, CFTC came in and said what they said about the new data. Well, it looks like we have the St. Louis Federal Reserve saying Bitcoin is cool now.
Really?
What's going on with St. Louis Federal Reserve? It looks like they're trying to leave the pack.
Yeah, because I would say this may be the second story from
St. Louis. Yeah,
yep, St. Louis Reserve. Somebody in St. Louis knows what's going on because
they might get that tap on the shoulder, as you say.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
right?
Hey.
Because
what side you on?
I'm pretty pessimistic when it comes to news like this, only because it could be just them putting out something. However, the key point of this paper that they put out that I think actually goes with what we've always been saying is that the public won't trust digital cash issued by the government. They literally.
I'm glad they pointed. That's why I kind of trust this report now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. But when everybody writes about Bitcoin, if they don't mention how digital cash or how cash period will be affected by governments, and all they talk about is blockchain technology and speculative price, then it's sort of something up. But they actually literally said to believe that the CIA has imprinted paper currency with the technology enabling it to report hand-to-hand transactions is paranoia. To believe that spy agencies have backdoors to common computer programs is last week's news. Generating trust in the privacy promise of public payments authorities. New electronic money will be an extremely tall order. So basically, people don't trust cash already. Right. I don't really know anybody who still likes banks. They just have to deal with them.
Right.
So generally, when people feel like they have a solution opposite of that, I think people's mind has already changed. They already don't like the financial system or banks. The only problem is the tech behind it to ensure that they have something steady or a stable coin, so to say, in order to transact, because volatility is something people worry about. But St. Louis Fed just basically came out and wanted to be one of the cool kids. I'm a cool bomb.
Well,
cool parents.
And you hit it around the head with the fact that their quote about was public won't trust digital cash issued by government. Mm-hmm. But it's crazy that it's like this. Yeah. The government works for us, people. They work for taxpayers, yet we can't even trust them with the money. Mm-hmm. Something's wrong with that. Something. I mean, I see why FDR got killed. Yeah. He tried to stop this from happening.
Yeah, and we all know this is happening. It's just, what can you do about it?
And the second key point, they point out that Bitcoin is a legitimate privacy tool. There's a legitimate market here. Thus, there is a legitimate market for privacy of transactions. Bitcoin is in this market. The providers of stored value cards are in this market. He talks about PayPal and a couple other ones. But as Bitcoin, as they said, this report was written by economist Charles Kahn. It was published by the St. Louis Fed. Again, it was published last month, so it's one of those things they're releasing this story as crypto, the positivity is starting to generate again in the crypto space. But for the Federal Reserve to come out and say that as a big deal, people, they are everything anti-crypto because if this is all true, then again, there's no need for the banks. But hey, kudos to them. I'm not sure the play here. Hopefully, it's just some people who's like, hey, we got our crypto holdings. We don't care what happens to the bank. Yeah. And we support the report regardless. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll find a way to tax it and get that. They'll reciprocate that money somehow. So
they're going to get their
not going to be lost on them. I think they're just getting to a point where it's sort of a waste of energy and time to try and fight Bitcoin at this point. I mean, what more could you do to it? We've had internal fights. We've had external fights.
It's not going nowhere.
It's not going anywhere.
Stop it.
Yeah, so I think they're not throwing in the towel, but they're basically giving up on the fight against it. They just figure out how to make money off of it, which is good to see.
All right, next up, Russia may unban Telegram if it shares encryption keys with the FSB. For those who don't know, the FSB is basically like the CIA and FBI combined. Yeah. Or the CIA and FBI combined is like the FSB, however you want to say it, not to show any slight to anybody. But yeah, Russia's telecommunications watchdog said it will consider revising the ban on messaging service Telegram if the company submits to a court order requiring it to share its encryption keys with the federal law enforcement.
Of course, yeah.
The primary reason why Telegram is not doing it.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's why people liked Telegram, is because they didn't give up their encryption keys. They wasn't allowing people to just come in and say, yeah, give us all of your users' information. One of the coolest things, I mean, this shows how gangster Telegram's founder is. He actually created something called a digital resistance, where he provided Bitcoin grants to individuals and organizations who provide proxy and VPN services that allow you to bypass
his money where his mouth is.
Exactly, because he knows you need these things in place to have a private or to ensure privacy. So you can't just have a private coin. You got to have, you know, private searching, private web, private browsers, and private way to send messages, because some people just want their privacy. So
I think he sees the future as well too, where the only reason we don't have more privacy people is because there's not enough people out there that are tech literate when it comes to computers and stuff. If everyone knew how to use VPNs and different proxies, this wouldn't even be a conversation. Governments would have already lost this war. But since the education is in there, you got somebody like Pablo Durov, the founder, creator of Telegram, saying, as Bitcoins, they say, we'll give you money to start making these things so more people can use it. So I think this is a huge stepping stone to what the next decade, 10, 20, 30 years will be, because the hacking isn't going away, people. Internet, all this stuff is building on top of each other. We're seeing that with Bitcoin, blockchain, all that. So the more people know how to use these things, the more people start to use it. Literally, the next 5 or 10 years, this won't be a conversation, because everyone will have it.
Oh yeah, and then people realize they need privacy, because as much as people try to say, well, I don't need privacy, I'm not doing anything wrong, that's literally the first step towards all your privacy being taken away, because that's how it happened before. So yes, when people realize they need privacy, at some point that will be what they use, and they'll look for people to teach them how to use it, and hopefully, you know, Telegram will still be around to do it, because I don't know. You know, sometimes the pressure can get to people. They can be courageous. They can be courageous at first, but you never know what pressure could come down. And he basically
Coinbase, we're talking about you.
Hey man,
Bittrex, we're talking about you.
Hey man, like I said, whenever you like Vanilla Ice when you get held over the edge of that balcony, you sign that contract real quick.
And you know, it's worth noting too as well. The Federal Security Service, the FSB, the reason why they said they wanted these back doors, of course. It was, they allegedly said that they needed to, it alleges that it needs the ability to decrypt it, decrypt the messages to fight terrorism. So again, it's to protect you. We don't need it for us. We want to know all your personal information for you.
We need to save you.
And that's important to note, because a lot of people at the Diddly game would say for something like this, well, they're basically helping terrorists. They're helping the bad guys, because, you know, they don't all think on their own too. But Telegram founder Durov came out and said that they never actually denied that the authorities have a right and even an obligation to fight terrorism. On the contrary, we suggested the only civilized way to do it, a court order in exchange for a disclosure not of the content of the messages even, but only of an IP address or a telephone number. Basically saying the balance must be found between national security and privacy. That's what Pavel Chekhov, Telegram's lawyer, said in an interview to the Durov Code program, according to RT's report. And another thing, people, here's the messed up part. It's not just the code that they want so they can read all your privacy. They want to duplicate it and nationalize it. This is Russia. China does the same thing. The United States on the low does a lot of the same things too. We don't know it sometimes. But a lot of these bailouts with the banks made sure that the government owned some of the bank. So they're trying to nationalize a lot of these services, a lot of this technology, which is why Bank of America tried to do 50 patents, because they want to own everything.
And then say it's meaningless later.
Right. So I don't want him to give away the code either, because what happens when the government nationalizes the next big Telegram, promotes it as being a private operation, and people begin to use it, and they already have the back door built in.
WhatsApp,
Facebook, right?
So
every other,
like we said, we do it on the low, but you know, they're kind of more outright with it. But yeah, we do the same thing. We just people just purchase it and then sit on it and then use it for what they want. So yeah, we've seen that before.
There we go. Smash that like and share button. Crypto Q says the new KGB, of course.
Pavel was a citizen of St. Kitts.
Oh wow.
Yeah, didn't know that.
Brian Hanley said, I think he renounced his Russian citizenship. You know what? That's what's going to happen though. People going to start. Listen, there's already people doing it in the United States. I know a few of you already moved overseas. We're just like, I'm not playing this game.
Hey man.
Look, when you're playing with, you dedicate your whole life to, you know, you only get 1 or 2 big events sometimes, and you get your big event, you make your 10 million, your 100 million, your 1+ billion as he did in his ICO, which is another reason why Russia was cracking down, because the amount of money he made in a short amount of time. But you're not going to make all this money and then have your government say, well, we're not going to allow you to keep your money. We're not going to allow you to operate. We're not going to allow you to do this. Mm-hmm. You're grown, I'm grown, and you're mad because I did this on my own, and you work for me technically.
Your hard work means nothing,
right? So yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot more people start saying, you know what, you can keep citizenship. I'm good.
Yep. I'm out of here.
I'm gonna buy my militia.
Yep, and they already have like Estonia. They have the e-residencies. They have people who are starting their own islands and own communities. Trust me, it's only gonna get more and more vast as they try and clamp down. So this is the year of decisions.
So we're not going to leave Russia and their terrible government alone. We're going to include the United States and Canadian securities regulators with them. Mm-hmm. It looks like they're involved in over 200 crypto probes. We mentioned this before. It's called Operation Crypto Sweep. It's an ongoing operation, but at this point now, and this is being ran by the North American Securities Administrators Association, the NASAA.
Come on, man.
Some group you probably never heard of.
How many?
Don't know how they're getting their funding or who's allowing them to operate, but they have more than 200 active investigations by state or provincial, I can never say that word, provincial level agencies into ICOs and other crypto-related investment products. Again, keyword ICOs because they want to go after that person. They need a target. They need somebody to pay them. Bitcoin can't pay them because there's no target.
Anybody. It's no central figure to go after.
But it looks like the NASAA is composed of securities regulators from the United States, Canada, Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rico, why are you even playing this game?
Yeah.
You see the United States didn't help you?
Yeah. Y'all should be the first ones to deny this, but they don't have a choice.
The U.S. Virgin Islands and Mexico. Mexico, same thing. They don't have a choice probably because like, why are you working with these other regulators? But this ongoing sweep, again, it has over 200 investigations in the U.S. and Canada, which is funny. You see they're not doing investigations in Mexico and the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. U.S. and Canada has over 200 investigations that has already resulted in 47 different enforcement actions. We don't know what that actually means. But again, my thing is who said you can use taxpayer money to do this?
Yeah. No. I mean, who funded this for one? Because I mean, the NASAA, I've heard of it, but they're not a prominent group that you hear every day. I mean, most people probably haven't heard them until we just said it just now.
Right.
And that's how they like to keep it. These groups just pop up out of nowhere. They get deemed, regulatory agency bodies by people who are in other regulatory agency bodies. They just grab people from different groups. All right, so you all go do this.
How do you have a whole agency in different countries for Bitcoin stuff?
Yeah.
Period. Like you don't know enough about it. You don't know enough about ICO.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, well, they think they do, and honestly, their law is so stuck in time because the SEC law. I mean, that was written 70 years ago, maybe even longer than that. Where the securities, how these law is actually used, that's pretty outdated, especially when you think about how ICOs are a great crowdfunding tool. Maybe just the action of accepting the money. People just have to be more knowledgeable because, of course, people can just run off with your money. However, the fact that you can, crowdfund money from people all over the world, I mean, in a matter of minutes is great. I mean, we've had 30-minute ICOs that's raised, a few $1 million. So that's great. And,
it's important to note, too, that it looks like Operation Crypto Sweep was first announced in May. That's when we first started covering it. May of 2018. At the time, they said we were investigating about 70 crypto-related startups for potential security law violations. The laws that they make up out the blue to tax people who know how to create things and make money. But you tell me, since May to now, we have from 70 to 200. Yeah. Again, how is this a possible number? In 2.5 months, you found enough regulators who know enough about the crypto and blockchain side of things, as well as the regular security side of things, to open these investigations up. Where are you getting this manpower from? It just makes no sense.
Yeah, we got to do some digging to see where all these people coming from.
Hey, Simitri Diva, haven't seen you in a long time.
Simitri, welcome back. Welcome back, brother.
Simitri said, just about holding on from this wrecked bear market. That's right. Just keep holding.
Keep holding.
So more government news. South Korea government sponsors blockchain hackathon and fresh public awareness drive.
Oh, word.
South Korea continues. All right, that's just the top story. Looks like the brainchild Korea Internet and Security Agency, the KISA, and Korea IT Industry Promotion Agency, KIPA.
You got some names.
So many acronyms. Event is now accepting applications and will run in late November as part of the state-sponsored Blockchain Promotion Week. Basically, they're going to have a hackathon where they're going to allow people to solve social problems and innovate public and private services through blockchain technology and development of dApps. for improving the efficiency of the public and private sector, providing nationwide benefits. The winning team will win about 100 million won, which is about $90,000 US. And applications are open until September 28th.
Oh yeah. I think we'll start to see a lot of these. You're
gonna have to
big time hackathons.
The state's behind.
Yeah, they got to find out who got the talent, because a lot of the big coders in the blockchain space are very private. They're very rich, some of the early ones, and they don't really care about hackathons or getting paid for it. However, some of the younger generation of people, in their early 20s, maybe even younger than that, are starting to get into blockchain technology, starting to get into coding, and you can get some of the best minds about blockchain technology early on by having competitions that pay money, because 90,000 is probably not a lot to a experienced 35, 40-year-old. Yeah, they're probably like, wow, I can make that in a month, just doing whatever, what I regularly do. Yeah. But to an 18-year-old kid or 19-year-old kid,
that's what they're looking for.
$90,000 is a lot of money.
Ethereum,
they can grab a Buterin. Yeah, they can grab a Buterin, pluck them out. Those people in black suits come walking up to them after the thing. So, you're going to work for us, right? Congratulations. But, yeah, you need to come on with us and help us, develop some new stuff. But I'm pretty sure, a lot of the blockchain hackathons that are coming will be even more widespread, because they've been going on. We've had them in the
IBM
US.
actually did some small ones.
Yeah, we've had them in a few places, and the competitions usually aren't that stiff, simply because a lot of people don't know about it. But that's going to change. I can tell you that right now. Tell you that. So
I'm glad you asked that. Hero George asks, why is South Korea responding so different to the crypto than the US? They're actually not. At first they were, first it was all positive. As of late, this entire year for the most part, South Korea has been in line with the other, United States and all those powers. And I'm sure it's because North Korea was acting up. So United States was like, hey, you want us to keep helping?
Yep.
This is the way we do things. But I would say no. I think this is the honeypot. As Bitcoin said, they're just looking for the next best thing. And they're literally just going to take it over. It's the reason why it's state sponsored.
Yeah.
It's sponsored by the state. They want you to come up with the next great ideal
right in front of them.
Ideals for their government to become more efficient and all that, so they can figure out how to backdoor it. Either create it on their own, as we just talked about nationalizing the program, or whether it's completely killing the program, saying that, all right, so this is what's coming next. Let's figure out how to make this not ever happen.
Or nationalize it.
Or nationalize it. Or as Bitcoin, they said, just find the next few talents and say, all right, we're just going to recruit you to come work for us. So,
because there's not that many dApps that are in production right now that have a bunch of users.
Right.
So the space is still open, so to say. I mean, it's still wide open. I mean, a lot of people can, create one and, do it easily, but there isn't one that's really popular. CryptoKitties was the most popular for a little bit, kind of ran out of steam. There's a few other ones that are okay, but this market is wide open. So South Koreans can definitely build some dApps.
You're talking about improving the efficiency of the public and private sector. All right, I want to see what happens when a kid or a grown whoever person comes there and makes the dApp that says, hey, we can now track all government spending to the penny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're gonna give me this $90,000 and make this program go wide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mainstream. No, I'm not seeing that happen. So. Again, it's state sponsored for a reason. I want to believe it's altruistic, but I don't.
Yeah, we'll see.
Tyson Shields said once they set up the net properly, then the bull run will commence. The net is WW and all the World War III and all they're collaborating with the different countries. Notice as China has also shut down, everyone's ramping up.
Oh yeah,
I believe that as well. Again, it was a lot of hype last year. And the price still is a lot higher than it was 2 years ago, to be real. Yeah. So it's not like it's just low, but it's definitely been suppressed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's clear. It's been suppressed. Every time it tries to make the run, all the countries, all the big bankers, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, the media,
that news cycle.
So it's clearly being manipulated, and it's funny. The manipulators are actually trying to arrest everyone else they claim who's manipulating it, but they're manipulating it. So I agree with you. I think that all the countries, many countries, are in bed together, and they're waiting for the right opportune moment to finally say, "All right, like open the floodgates. We can let it flow now."
Yeah, because I mean, we've seen this from China. How many times last year did they ban it? 10 times, 12 times, who knows? But usually, right after China stops all the banning and stop this, stop that, that's when the bull run starts again, because that's when China basically is letting the world know, yeah, we don't allow this. However, in the background, they were getting as much Bitcoin as they can. Same thing they did with gold.
And this year's China is the United States government is ETF thing. After this next one, when they don't accept anything after September 30th again, and this is like the third or fourth, it was about the fifth or sixth time probably in the last year and a half.
People stop caring.
People will stop caring. They be like, all right, y'all playing games. All right, you're not going to do the ETF, whatever. This technology is going to move forward, though.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, Lloyds of London makes quiet entrance into crypto insurance market. It's actually a pretty cool story, even though it's still new. So, it's, beginning blocks and all that. But Lloyds of London, the centuries-old insurance marketplace, I don't trust any business that's been around for centuries. I'm just going to throw that out there. It's quietly providing cover against the theft of cryptocurrencies. This is kind of misleading. It's not against the theft right now. They're providing safekeeping services with insurance to cover for the loss of natural disaster due to natural disaster right now. So if you have a mining operation or something like that, this is the way I'm kind of picturing it. If your mining operation goes down because of a hurricane, or they're in a lot of cold places, let's say flooded, the weather heats up, you're in an underground mine with snow caps covering you and it floods. I'm thinking that's where Lloyds of London is going to step in and say, hey, we can provide insurance for that. As of now, they don't have the theft thing down packed. They've been saying in the story. They're working on it. And one of the main reasons why they're saying they got to make sure they have people that work for them that know how to write or underwrite insurance for cryptocurrency, in addition to regular insurance, and when it comes to theft, which is a very complicated thing to do.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad they're admitting it, because we have the government saying we can go ahead and do this type of stuff, i.e. Operation Crypto Sweep. But we don't even have the people who are knowledgeable about it.
Yeah, and I mean, most companies, whenever they come out with something grand like this, like Bitcoin insurance or crypto insurance, they usually start off with how great it's going to be, and then later you find out, okay, these are all the problems. It is good they started off with the problems and then said, okay, now when we solve those problems, these are the features we'll have. They'll have proof of reserve, daily reconciliation, audits, external oversight, which we'll see who's that external oversight is, whitelisting of addresses, location disaster recovery. These are all things that sound good. We'll see how far they get with it.
You gotta know what you're talking about. Good, right? That's a lot.
Exactly. That's why I always say very ambitious projects. However, a lot of the stuff that comes out, something like this, it'll probably take years to get rolling, where it's actually safe for people, and they think that they can actually keep it in that account, because as far as natural disasters, yes, you want to account for it, but theft is way more important, because I mean that's $1 billion industry. Haven't really heard of mining rigs getting destroyed by hurricanes and tornadoes that often, but it is possible. So I can see where that business plan will come in. And we've always said, as soon as somebody finds a way to have insurance for crypto, all the Ned Flanders and people that say, well, I don't know what will happen if I lose it, they'll use this service. They'll jump. I mean, if you do a service right now, a crypto insurance service for up to 100,000 right now, I can guarantee you more people will start buying crypto, simply because they will say, well, if I store it with them, at least 100,000 of it I'll get back in crypto. So when somebody has that liquidity on top of the security that goes along with it, they're gonna make a lot of money. And it looks like Lloyds of London is trying to make that step. So
I want to give talk about Jerry Plulard. He's the president of the Illinois-based safe deposit box insurance coverage. He said the floodgates are close to breaking open. Again, everyone keeps saying this for a reason. We talked to people last week who's still on the fence or nervous about what's going on in the crypto market. Some people still selling. It's like, people, it is happening. It's going to happen. It's just taking a while. John Siebert just said the best comment. He said, funny is, Bitcoin doesn't need to succeed. It just needs them to fail.
That's what we've been
They'll
saying.
take care of it.
They'll eat themselves.
Bitcoin's they've been saying it for the longest. We haven't seen Bitcoin in a traditional bear market.
No.
We've only seen it since after the financial crash. That's when it happened. That's when Bitcoin is created. We've only seen it in the bull market. So you're right.
Yeah.
It's about the tax dodgers. People need to pay their profits. Yeah, that's what they want people to do. Dan the Man 03 said, are we doing any research on Nano? I haven't done any updated research.
Yeah, not updated. They had looked at it before, but yeah.
All right, for the free Satoshis today, what are we doing?
Oh yeah, so for the free Satoshis question, there was an article that described that in India, they'll be putting their birth certificates on the blockchain. So you'll be able to identify yourself or your kids on the blockchain with birth certificates. And I want to know, in the US, would you use a blockchain type application to put your birth certificate, or would you stick with the traditional way of writing it out and keeping it that way? Let us know what you think. It's a lot of implications that go with that if your if your birth certificate is on the blockchain.
It's good and bad.
It's good and bad. So yeah, let us know what you think. Put your public address, and we'll send those free Satoshis.
All right. And as always, you can see above us, you can get this discount code for general admission for World CryptoCon, October 31st to November 2nd in Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh, yeah. We shall be there as for the influencer meet and greet. It's a lot of good speakers. I was looking at the new speaker list today. They got contraindicator Vinny Lingram. They have what's it? I can't even think of his name right now. One of our main guys, Tap Scott.
Yeah, down on Tap Scott.
Or Draper, excuse me, Draper. Draper's going to be there. Draper's going to be there speaking.
See what color tie he has on.
Right. So they have a lot of good speakers already. I think there's over 1,000 people already signed up. So if you want that $250 off, you can use that discount code above the video.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, have a happy Tuesday, folks, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Oh yeah. And thanks for that, Harold George, right there at the end. $52.
Oh, thank you, Harold
Appreciate
George.
You, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
You all have a great one.